Welcome to the Laws of Business Mastermind Show, the #1 talk show in the entire legal industry. Today, we're going to have hundreds of attorneys, just like we do every single week, on our show, talking with none other than Andy Stickel. And I don't know where he is right now. We'll see where he's at in a little bit. Maybe he's going to log in later than his agreed upon time. We'll see. Is that him? Oh, wow.
What's going on here?
Is this Andy Stickel in the flesh?
Oh, hey, whoa.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
Here he is right here.
Same place.
Yes, we're in the same place. Usually we're screen sharing. So Andy and I are here at a mastermind in Tampa, Florida, going through really high-level marketing stuff. And today we wanted to talk with you about the biggest marketing opportunities in 2022 and beyond. And Andy wants to start with a story on P.T. Barnum to kind of get us thinking a little bit more creatively. And then we have a whole list in front of us that we thought through before this. We're going to go through every trending platform, TikTok. What's the keys with reviews for 2022? What's the keys with Google My Business? How do you use Clubhouse? What are some of the trending platforms? But first, Andy wanted to start with a story about P.T. Barnum, arguably the greatest marketer alive.
What's up, everybody? How's it going? I don't know. Bill and I we've hung out a couple times. I'm always surprised at how tall Bill is. So, because I'm what am I? I'm 5'11", 5'12", depending which convenience store I'm leaving, and I'm always surprised that Bill is taller than me. So it's always funny. So, guys, here's the deal. 2021 is almost over, right? And the reality is that there's always a lot of gimmicks that are coming out. Like, what's the latest thing? What's the latest trends that we can get on marketing? What's the latest, strategies that we can use? And we got to get ahead of the curve, right? But the reality is that marketing is marketing is marketing. And the biggest thing that you can do if you want to grow your law firm and you want to have an amazing 2022, is you can kind of get back to understanding that there are certain principles of marketing that you have got to understand, and that if you stick with these principles and these strategies, they will always work for you. And the reason that Bill was bringing up P.T. Barnum is because there's a great book. It's called A Customer is Born Every Second, and it's written by Joey Vitale. It's about P.T. Barnum. Now, he is most famous for the circus, but you know what's funny is that is not how P.T. Barnum made his fortune. He made his fortune running a museum. Right, and it was a museum that was basically it was very similar to a Ripley's Believe It or Not museum. He was always doing these crazy stunts and these crazy gimmicks and doing all this stuff, making a lot of noise and trying to get a lot of attention. And what's funny about this book is that P.T. Barnum ran this museum from the 1840s approximately till about the 1860s. So what is that? It's about 180 years ago, right? The interesting thing about this is the principles and the strategies that P.T. Barnum used in 1840 are the exact same strategies that we use today in 2021 and in 2022. The only difference is the tactic that he used. Now, let me tell you what the difference between strategy and tactic is. If you are a general and you're leading troops into war, do you guys know what the overall strategy for most wars, what most countries are trying to do in a battle in war? If you are leading an army, the thing you always want to do is you want to get to the high ground, right? Because whoever owns the high ground has a significant advantage over everyone else, right? Now, here's the interesting thing. Whether you're in 2021 or 1821 or 21 BC, the answer is always get to the high ground, right? That's the strategy. The strategy never changes. So what does change is the tactic that you use to get to the high ground. So in 21 BC, you probably walked up there. And then maybe in 521, you took a horse up there. And then you took a carriage up there. And then you take today we use helicopters and planes to get to the high ground. Maybe in 100 years, they're going to be teleporting. But the fact doesn't change that although the tactic of how you get to the high ground always changes, what doesn't change is the fact that you need to get to the high ground, right? So that's why it's so important that you understand the general principles of marketing, because the principles of marketing do not change. So what you need to commit to in 2022, and we're going to go into some of the ways that you can do this in 2022, is just understanding that the strategy always stays the same. Always provide more value than you expect to receive, and it will come back you'll be flooded with value if you provide a ton of value. And that's something that is really going to be a common denominator of everything that we talk about today. So what you need to understand is that the strategies that we talk about, I didn't make these up yesterday. These are strategies that were used in the 1840s very successfully by someone who would be a billionaire by today's standards. And they were even used before that, right? So with that said, that's going to kind of prime you with what we're going to talk about. It's all going to be about how do you provide as much value and how do you use these basic strategies that are timeless to grow your law firm. So Bill, with that said, you want to talk about the first thing we're going to talk about here?
What we did was we basically created a list. The first thing I'm going to start with is TikTok and Clubhouse. And then you can talk about reviews. Go ahead. Okay. So I'm first going to talk about TikTok. I have had the honor to interview four very popular lawyers on TikTok. One being James Helm of Top Dog Law, the other being Ali Awad, CEO lawyer, the other being Mark Wasserman, Pot Brothers at Law, the other being Ethan Ostroff, who I've interviewed on my YouTube channel. A lot of these attorneys took first mover advantage. Also, Marco Brown, who's a divorce lawyer. These are all attorneys who did first mover advantage on TikTok, right? Some of these attorneys, so TikTok is an app, for those of you who don't know what it is. It's similar to Instagram. However, it's a short snippet video platform that has very short videos in it, right? So if you can learn to make very short, quirky videos of your area of expertise, then you can win at TikTok. The real key to TikTok is content frequency. But the challenge with TikTok is the ability to target a local audience, right? So if you want to get big on TikTok, just know your law firm is probably going to get attention in other countries. It's probably going to get attention in areas outside of the state that you serve. But with that being said, if you brand yourself properly on TikTok as the divorce lawyer in X area, and people become to know that on TikTok, it can create a positive ripple effect on word of mouth. So TikTok is one area for you to be thinking for yourself as a big needle moving opportunity for you in 2022. The key from what I've learned interviewing some of the most successful TikTok lawyers is content frequency and testing, right? So there is no secret sauce to TikTok other than the fact that you got to get someone to stop scrolling through TikTok. The best market research you could ever do on TikTok is whatever it is, guys. The bottom line is this: consuming and posting is, you're going to see as Andy goes through some of his stuff on video marketing, the same principle applies. We have to provide value first for social media to work. We can't be asking for clients with every video we make. We have to be giving from the bottom of our hearts, right? Action, 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 action.
Hey, let me ask you a question real quick. Yeah. All right, so here's another question. Who here, type in the chat, who here can ride a bike? Say, I can if you can ride a bike. All right, a lot of people can ride a bike. All right, now type in the chat, how did you learn how to ride a bike? I want to know, how did you guys learn how to ride a bike? My dad, practice after falling. Okay, so let me get this straight. So nobody learned how to ride a bike by reading a book. And nobody learned how to ride a bike, gun to the head. There you go. Nobody, that's actually perfect. Nobody learned how to ride a bike by going to a conference, right? Nobody watched a YouTube video, right? So you learn how to do the thing by doing the thing, right? So that's something that's a super, super important concept with TikTok, because there's really not a guide to it. You learn how to do it. You learn how to be good at it by doing it and getting good at it.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Same thing applies to Clubhouse. Okay, guys? Again, we can give you all the tips and tricks in the world. The bottom line is this, like, Clubhouse is an app. So first of all, guys, for those of you who don't know what Clubhouse is, what's the first step to learning about what Clubhouse is? Some of you don't even have the app downloaded. So the answer is
Google it.
Go on Clubhouse, go get it, go Google it, go download the app. Step one. Step two, listen to people doing rooms. I gained 18,000 followers on Clubhouse, which resulted in, 6,000 of my Instagram followers in just a few months, because I was one of the first movers on it. I wasn't the first mover. The first movers got 100,000 followers within like 2 weeks because no one else was doing content because everyone was scared. I think there's going to be another big opportunity like Clubhouse and TikTok in 2022. The question is this: you can still use Clubhouse. You can still use TikTok. The question is more important than using TikTok and Clubhouse. It's, are you open to new opportunities that make you feel stupid? Can we just all just be okay with feeling stupid to serve the greater good of the clients that you want to inspire, the clients that you want to help? If so, let's start making more content. And Clubhouse and TikTok have the most arbitrage potential right now across all the other platforms. Another, example of this would be Instagram Live, which we don't have time to go deeply into, but I want to transition now to online reviews with Andy. How can you capitalize on online reviews in 2022? We're going to keep rapid firing through just to give you a ton of ideas. Go ahead.
So here's the thing, right? Online reviews are so important. I cannot emphasize how important online reviews are, right? So the reality is that I tell people this all the time. If you don't have any money to focus on, if you don't have any money for a marketing budget, put your effort into getting online reviews, because that's one of the best ways you can do it. Now, Google is actually penalizing law firms now. We're starting to see this just recently. Google has made a lot of different changes when it comes to online reviews. What we're seeing is that firms that are not consistently getting more online reviews, they are losing rankings in the Google Maps, and the ones that we're doing SEO for, if they're not consistently getting more reviews, it's very difficult for us to move their reviews or to move their listing up in the Google Maps, right? So online reviews is not optional. You have to be getting online reviews. Here's what's really important. So when you're getting Google review, when you're ranking in Google, you want to rank in the Google 3-pack. The Google 3-pack is where the maps are. So you search personal injury attorney. At the top, you've got the LSA ads, and then you got some ads, and then you've got a map, right? And below that is going to be 3 listings. You need to rank in those listings. And the way that you do that is by increasing your relevancy, increasing your law firm's prominence. And prominence is essentially how many business listings and how many different places are you listed on the internet, right? And then the third thing you can influence that you really can't influence, but it's a factor, is location to the searcher. How far away are you from the person who's searching? So what you can do with reviews is you can increase the relevancy of your law firm using reviews. So how do you do that? What you do is you send out questions with the review request to your to your clients when you're asking them to leave reviews. So what you want to do is you want to ask them 5 questions. And what you want to do is, first of all, and this is just rapid fire. Like I said, I wrote an entire book about this, but basically what you want to do is you want to give them a reason that you need the review. So you say, hey, listen, we really love your review. Your reviews help a lot of people, because a lot of times people are looking for a lawyer and they don't know who to hire. They don't know who the best lawyer is. And it's really overwhelming. So stories from clients like you help people make one of the most important decisions potentially of their entire life. So I'd really appreciate it if you'd help tell your story and leave a review, right? If you give people a reason,
this is brilliant.
Yeah, if you give people a reason, they are much more likely to comply. And I don't have time to explain why, but just trust me, if you give people a reason, they're much more likely to comply. Then the next thing is make sure that they don't have writer's block. So what you want to say is, a lot of times people don't know exactly what to put in their reviews, right? So we have found that the best reviews answer these 5 questions. Question number 1, what was the problem that you had before you came to our law firm? Question number 2, why did you choose our firm over all the other firms available? Question number 3, what did we do for you? Question number 4, as a result, what was the outcome? And then question number 5, how did this outcome impact your life? So what that's going to do, first of all, it's going to give you better reviews. It's going to give you reviews that are much more likely to stick, because Google is basically removing reviews constantly right now. It's going to have people tell stories. When people tell stories, other people that read those reviews are much more likely to see themselves in your client's shoes and then want to hire you. And then on top of that, it's going to get words, phrases, synonyms, keywords that are all relevant to your law firm and your practice area, which is going to increase the relevancy of your Google My Business profile, which makes it much more likely that when someone searches personal injury attorney, you're going to show up number 1.